Guys, so today I'm going to be doing kind of like an eyeshadow palette collection, and then I'm going to be ranking them from my favorite to my least favorite. So I thought that would be really fun to do because I have so many eyeshadow palettes and I just keep buying them because I'm like, oh, I need more colors, even though I have like all of the colors imagined. But you know, you can never have too many eyeshadow palettes, so I figured why not do this video? I think it'd be really fun. Okay, so I've gathered all of my eyeshadow palettes. And I'm just gonna kind of start. I guess I'm gonna kind of start by just showing all the ones that I have, and then I will rank them. The first eyeshadow palette that I have is this Urban Decay Alice Through the Looking Glass palette. It's got a little butterfly. This palette has probably the best packaging of any of my palettes. It's amazing. And then under here it has a quote as well, and then it has the palette itself. Next, I have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette. It's really dirty, I'm sorry. And these are the colors, also really dirty on the inside. Lorac Pro palette, this is the original, again, really dirty, I apologize. And then this one is what it looks like on the inside. It's almost gone because I've had this for such a long time. And I have my Naked palette, and this is the Smoky palette, and the packaging is so pretty. Look how pretty. And then this is what the inside looks like. It also came with a brush, but it's probably somewhere in my makeup things. I never keep the brushes in there unless they're like new palettes. I have my Morphe palette now, again dirty, and this is coming off, but you know. And then this is the Nature Glow palette. So that's what it looks like on the inside. I haven't really used too much of it. Next, I have the Sultry palette by Anastasia, and this one's a newer one, so I still have it in the box. And then this is what it looks like on the inside, and I still have the brush in there. Those are all of the colors. Super pretty. And then I have this Sephora palette. Also love the packaging, love the glitter. And then this is what it looks like on the inside, and look how cute the little owl is. I have this Tarte Love Trust and Fairy Dust palette. I actually got this for my birthday, and the packaging is so pretty, and so is the palette itself. I've actually used up this entire shadow, and it was the biggest one in there, and I've already used all of it. It was such a pretty shade. It was just like a highlight, kind of. I think it was supposed to be a highlight, and it worked as an amazing highlight, as an eyeshadow. It was just amazing. Next, I have the Modern Renaissance palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I'm sure a lot of you already know what this looks like, but that is what it looks like on the inside. And last but not least, I have the Too Faced Beauty Daydreamer palette that I got for Christmas, and this is what it looks like. I haven't really used too much of it because I just got it for Christmas, so that was only a few months ago, but that is what it looks like on the inside. It also comes with a blush, or two blushes right there, and then a bronzer and a highlight as well. Those are all of my palettes, and now I'm gonna start ranking them from my favorite to my least favorite, and this is gonna be really hard because I have so many favorites. So a lot of them might be tied for the #1 spot, so I will just kind of do them in order as best I can. But it's going to be really difficult because I have so many palettes that I just love, and I use on a daily basis. So like I'll use one shade from one palette, one shade from another. I'm going to start with my least favorites, and then I'm going to move up. So my least favorite palette is my Morphe palette. Now that might come as a shock to many people because the Morphe palettes are really popular. Everyone loves Morphe, everyone loves their palettes. This palette I used to love, but once I got into other palettes like the Anastasia palettes, I've realized that these aren't easily blendable, for me at least. I probably just am not good at blending, but I feel like these are not. They take forever to blend, and I wish the shimmer, I wish there was like a white shimmer. Now these ones here turn out with a little bit of an orange pigment, so that is why this palette is not my favorite, but the price point is really good, and it comes with a ton of shadows, so that is a really good deal for this palette, and I did love it for a while, but it is just my least favorite out of the ones that I have now, and I don't really use it as much anymore. But I definitely still love Morphe, and I love their products. Just that is my least favorite palette of the ones that I have. And my next one is the Subculture palette by Anastasia. Now I really liked this when I first got it, but it just isn't my favorite. I do like all the colors. Obviously, I'm not going to be using all of these on a daily basis because there's a lot of yellows and greens and blues and really bright colors that I just wouldn't use on a day-to-day basis. And I think that's the reason that I'm not the biggest fan of this palette, is just because of that. Like there isn't, this shimmer actually turns out kind of like holographic. Like, let me just show you. It kind of comes out like a pinky color. Wow, you can't even see it. Okay, let me try again. you can't tell, but it comes out kind of a pinky color when it actually goes on your eyes, so I really don't like that about it. And there just weren't too many light shimmers. Next is the Naked Smoky palette. I was really excited when I got this palette, but it just is not my favorite again. I do like all the colors, and I was looking for a palette that I could make smoky eyes with, but that I could do smoky eyes with, but it just isn't my ultimate favorite. I don't really like how the shimmers come out. They're very, they're not, like, I don't know, they're just not my favorite shimmers. And I wish that there were a more variety of like transition shades. Like I wish there was a brown in between these two, and then like a gray in between like these, like a lighter gray as well, to make a really good smoky eye. I just feel like you can't really do that with these shades. There needs to be some lighter colors in between and maybe less of the shimmers, but that's just my opinion. But I still, again, like this palette. It's my Lorac Pro palette now. I really liked this palette when I got it. It was like my favorite palette for a long time, but I just don't use it much anymore. I really am not a huge fan of the shimmers. I was a fan of these two, but they are gone. So yeah, and then there was only, I really do like the transition shades though in these. They were really nice and they blended well. They're very soft eyeshadows, which I love about Lorac's palettes. I have my Alice Through the Looking Glass palette. Now I do really like this palette. Obviously I have more that I just like more, but I really do love this palette. I love the packaging. It is just so pretty. Like, again, let me just show you how pretty the packaging is, because I can't really see it because my hands are in the way, but just look how pretty that is. Like, gorgeous. And then the palette itself is really pretty. Now obviously I've used some of them, so it's not the best looking anymore because it's kind of dirty, but like the colors are really pretty. I just wouldn't use all of them on a day-to-day basis, and I think that's one of the reasons why it wasn't higher on the list, because I do love the packaging. I love how the shadows blend and everything. I think it's just the fact that I can't use these shadows on a day-to-day basis because they're like really bright pinks and blues and greens and things like that. But I do love this palette, and I actually have this shade right here on for my highlight. Now we're getting to like my top 5. Number 5 is my Modern Renaissance palette, and I love this palette. I love how the colors blend. I just love this palette. I really like all the colors because you can get a lot of looks out of this. You can get like a brown look with some orange, and then a pinky red toned look. I really do like this palette. Again, the shimmers weren't really my ultimate favorites. I mean, they were pretty good. Here's 2 of the shimmers. I mean, they're really pigmented and everything, but I like the shimmers that are more like glittery rather than shimmery, if that makes any sense. It probably doesn't, but to me it makes a lot of sense. And but I really do like this palette. I like how there's a lot of transition shades. Number 4 is this Sephora palette. I love the packaging, and it's so cute. There are some colors just to get a few good looks, and it's really compact, so you can take it anywhere you go and you can still get a ton of looks out of this palette. So I really like this palette. I have said palette probably 100 times in this video, so I'm sorry about that. But I just love the little owl, and the stars are really pretty. Number 3 is the Too Faced Beauty Daydreamer palette. This palette actually came as a gift set with a bag, like a little makeup bag, and I can't remember what all it came with, but it came with a little lip gloss as well, and I think a mascara from Too Faced as well. So I really love this palette. I love the bunnies too, so cute, and the stars. I love the packaging. I've also said love about 300 times in this video. And then the colors, you can create so many looks with this. Number 2 is my Tarte Love, Trust, and Fairy Dust palette. This palette, when I first got it for my birthday, it was my all-time favorite palette that I had ever gotten and ever used. It actually smells good too. I think all Tarte's palettes smell really good. So many looks you can create with just this tiny compact palette. I love that. This shimmer shade was my all-time favorite shimmer probably, and I love, love, love this palette. I like how it's also really small, so you can take it anywhere you go and create so many looks with this just little palette. And it's so cute too. I believe it was limited edition. If it was not, I would literally buy another one. My all-time favorite palette that I have is my Sultry palette by Anastasia. Now, it could just be because I just got it and I, you know, have used it a few times and I love the shades because they're new to me, so that could be why it's my favorite palette at the moment. But I just love the colors. The shimmers are so pretty and pigmented. Glitter is like mesmerizing. It's so pretty. Anyways, that was all of my eyeshadow palettes, and that was all of my eyeshadow palettes ranked from my very favorite to my least favorite. Now, I love all of them, obviously, but that was just kind of my ranking in those favorites. Like, they're all my favorites, but I had to rank them, you know, favorites within favorites, sort of. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more, and also comment video ideas down below if you have them.